Ladies and gentlemen, all between Jason, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I am totally excited. Usually, I don't get nervous. Today, I'm a little nervous.
Well, there's times that that's an appropriate response, right?
Absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
bring on Fred so he can explain why we might be a little nervous. Go ahead, Mr. Bonanno. How are you, sir?
Hi, guys. I thought you were nervous because you were going to deal with me, but I guess not, huh?
Yeah, it's those lovely dimples.
I'm
of
not
yours.
the reason. and I agree. Today we do. We've got an incredibly special guest. You can't talk about rock in the 70s without talking about Grand Funk Railroad, and Mark Farner is the reason. Is one of the founding members, lead singer, lead guitarist, and wrote 90% of the Grand Funk music catalog. And today he's still 92%. And today he still commands the stage with the same intensity he did 50 years ago. Mark's got a new album out, Closer to My Home, set for a November 8th release on Righteous Rock Records. And it can be pre-ordered now on Mark's website with the special offer of an autographed album. The album bridges the past and the present, including a re-recorded version of the iconic I'm Your Captain. So let's please give a Creativity Talking welcome to Mark Farner.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Fred. That was great.
Did I read it like you wrote it, Mark?
Oh, yeah, man. You owned that.
And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know you're up in
Absolutely.
your home of northern Michigan, which
That's right.
is known for hunting and fishing, big area. But you've always been a rural guy, right?
Yes. I have since I was able to afford a farm back in 1969. I have always owned a farm. I
Nice.
love farming. It's a good lifestyle. If you're really into farming, you won't have to go to the gym.
That's true. It's hard work.
Ain't lying there.
Yeah, I grew up in upstate New York, and my grandfather, raised Herefords. We had cows and pigs and chickens and all that growing up, and it is something I kind of had hoped that I would be able to do in my adult life, but not so far. So,
Well, it ain't over with yet, Jason.
well, I know. Hey, let's hope there's still time, right?
Yeah. Get ready to write your obituary, Jason. Come on.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to talk about the album cover.
All right.
So American flag, you've got an American flag behind you. I just want to say thank you for flying the flag, flying the colors. I don't know why it's become a dirty word, but literally I'll stop people. I'll knock on their door. I'll say, hey, I just want to thank you for flying the flag. Thank you very much.
That's
I have
great.
13 veterans in my family. This show is based on my brother, as well as Jason lost a friend to suicide. He was a veteran. So that chair right there, I know my brother's sitting there. Grand Funk Railroad was one of his favorite bands. So that's why I'm kind of nervous today. But your music and your voice has been with me my entire life. And so this one's great.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. So your dad, multi-bronze star recipient, correct?
Yeah. 4 Bronze Stars.
Oh, wow.
4 major battles.
That's insane. And thank you for his service.
Yeah.
And then your mom worked at Fisher Body, and she was the first female welder on tanks.
On Sherman tanks, which, of course, was the kind my dad drove in the 7th Armor Division.
Nice.
That would be bizarre if he actually drove one of the tanks that she welded on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's likely.
And a little like, hey, honey, a little note and welded. What?
And Vince, that's one of my, fantasy things that I've just let myself believe. Yeah, she welded on one, and he got to drive that son of a.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so with that history in your family, obviously you've got a special place in your heart for the armed forces, and it's got to make you proud as hell to know that I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home became an anthem for Vietnam War veterans.
Yes, absolutely. And when they invited me to come, because the Vietnam Veterans of America called up and they said, "Well, listen, we took a poll to see what the favorite song of Vietnam veterans is, and it's your song. And we're going to have the 25th anniversary of the Wall. This is 2005 in DC.
Mhm.
Would you just bring your guitar and sing it?" I said, are you going to have lights? Are you going to have a stage, PA? Oh, yeah, we're going to have all that. I said, I'll tell you what, I will bring my band. We will bring the bus and we'll do a show for the troops.
Yeah.
And I'm Your Captain will be in it. And the guy goes, "You're kidding me. You're going to," I said, "For free, dude. You don't have to pay nothing."
Yeah.
And so when we went on, it was 36 degrees, boys.
Come on, fingers work.
We're warming our hands up on the lights in the dressing room
Yeah.
so that we could go out and play.
Right.
But all of that went away after we got going. And when we entered into the intro to I'm Your Captain, it was like everybody, this solemn, wonderful, intense feeling came as I looked out, and the tears just came rolling down the faces. Not only our American veterans, but the Canadian Vietnam veterans also that were there.
Right.
We can't forget our neighbors. Some of the best people I've ever met. Seriously.
Yeah.
Wholesome people, and they risked their safety to guard ours. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
And then they get shit on.
Yeah.
Right. I don't never understood that. Never in a million years. Never in a, I will cross the street to shake someone's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I always say thank you for your service. And my boys saw that growing up. They do the same thing. They see someone in uniform. Thank you, man, for your service.
Yeah.
It's that easy. There's, what they keep at bay, people have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Without America, the world would be huge trouble.
Hopeless.
Yeah.
I say thank you for my freedom.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's service, but my freedom, that's what that service was all about. And I want to know, as an American, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an American.
Right.
Right.
Well said. Well said.
Cheers to that.
Yes.
So,
and that's why, and I don't want to get political, and we're trying to avoid political, but that's why it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
They kneel at the national anthem, because to me that disrespects anybody that ever fought in the service. And it drives me nuts when they do that. But like I said, we don't want to get on the soapbox with that. We're here to talk about the new album. We're here to talk about Closer to My Home.
And I'll stay on that soapbox with you, brother Fred.
I know you will. I've seen some interviews with you.
Societal things are totally different. I'm a free speech guy. Don't censor me. Don't censor them.
Uh-huh.
I want to hear what they have to say, even if it's bullshit.
Right.
But I want to hear it. And I want the right not to hear it. And they should have the right not to listen to me babble on. And it's their right. Just change the channel.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, man.
That's what this country is based on, free speech. Right.
That's the weird thing that people have forgotten. You don't have to agree.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
You're not supposed to agree. We're not all supposed to agree. We can debate it, but we don't have to agree.
Where did that go?
Two adults should be able to have a conversation about anything and handle it like two adults.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of adults, how did it feel to re-record a song 55 years after you wrote it?
It was great. With Mark Slaughter, we did most of the instruments on most of these tracks. We did have some drummers come in and do things, but Mark is really good at programming drums, and he plays bass, I play bass, He plays guitar. I play guitar. We both play keyboards. We both sing. So it was, back and forth. And we started talking about, well, what are we going to put on here that's really going to mean something?
Right.
And because I'm Your Captain was such a big song in the hearts of our veterans and other people, because when I got that song, brothers, I prayed for that song. I said,
Nice.
God, I did a prayer, and I put a PS on the end of my prayer, and I said, God, please give me a song that would reach and touch the hearts of those you want to get to. That was my prayer, my little PS on there. I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night, not thinking that this was a song. But I woke up, and I have a steno pad right next to my bed, because I've lost a lot of shit, man. Thinking I'll remember this, and in the morning it's gone. You're never gonna, and you go, oh, you kick yourself in the ass because you let it go. But now I learned. Anyways, I'm writing words, but I'm in a state of mind that's somewhere between heaven and earth, the conscious resonance that I was in. And I knew that I didn't know it was a song, because I write a lot of things that aren't songs. I just write them out.
Right.
And so I'm writing. And if it's a song, I would go back to the top, go back to the first verse, and kind of refresh where this is going. It may take me into a second verse, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That happens. And when I've written music with people, we do that. That's how all of us do it. We kind of get the flow, and you refresh, and and say a word, and oh yeah, man, that was
right. Totally different.
Yeah. But this time, guys, I knew better than to take my eyes off the line that I'm on, and I'm right. I could not go back to the top, because I was locked into these words. They were coming so fast, I didn't have room to go back to the top. I didn't have time to go back to the top.
Right.
And by the time I finished writing, I was completely spent.
Yeah.
My physical body, my emotions, my mental state is like, oh my God, I just rolled back under the sheet and, got up in the morning and got this done. So it's a song that there was never any video to. Therefore, it's the person's imagination who listens to that song, and many people who listen to that song close their eyes when they're, by themselves, close their eyes. A jock that I know at WNEW New York City told me that they polled, and they took 100 people and asked them to write down the definition of Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. And he said, Farner, man, we got 100 diversely different definitions. Not any two were even close.
Right.
Think about that. That's your that's your God-given talent to make things happen. We got a wonderful imagination, but I think the videos have stifled that. But in this song, I'm Your Captain, I am playing now in I'm not in 440. A440 is the tuning standard of the United States, of course, but it switched from A432. In 1953, it went from 432 to A440. I don't know why. I don't know. I haven't discovered that yet, but I do know because of certain things that are evident. We can see with our eyes, hear with our ears. We can feel that frequency has very much to do with our existence.
Everything.
The right frequency that's compatible with the creation is 432. It's part of the solfeggio scale.
Wow.
And I watched a video. A guy put a speaker cabinet, a 15-inch speaker, next to a kiddie pool on a deck. He had a tone generator. He was in A440. The tuning scale was A2 at A440 at 125 decibels, and it put chop on the water. it was frothing like a storm in that little 6-foot kiddie pool.
Wow.
At 125 decibels. And the threshold of pain is 90 decibels.
Right.
Yeah. What?
So that's rocking. That's rocking that water.
Oh yeah.
So he takes it to the scale of 4-3-2, plays A2 at 125 decibels. It is like glass.
Really?
And I'm going, okay, that got my attention.
Right.
That example, I'm that kind of guy. I need, visuals.
Right.
Don't give me a book to read. Show me something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I called the guy that sent me the link, and he said, he told me about the solfeggio scale and that this is a very compatible frequency and that I should tune my acoustic guitar to it, which I did. And when I tuned the acoustic guitar, there is a harmonic as you are approaching that perfect pitch of the 4-3-2 on the string that you get E, B, D, G, A, E. And as each string comes into that pitch of 4-3-2, there's like a little whistle. It's a frequency that is a harmonic to that string, and when you go into 4-3-2, you could almost tune to the whistle, man. I'm telling you, wow, this is great, and it sounds. It isn't any louder. Of course, the instrument isn't any louder, but it sounds more. It sounds. Wow, does it sound bad?
So tell me again, Mark. It's E, B, D, G.
It's E, B, G, D, A, E. From the smallest to the largest, from the bottom to the top.
Okay, interesting. You got me wanting to mess around with that now. So
well, good. You should, man. Treat yourself to it. It's a very therapeutic frequency. So I've been playing live for years in 4-3-2, at least 15 years, probably more. I did Happy Together tour with Flo and Eddie, and there was Dave Mason and Rick Derringer and Felix Cavalieri, a bunch of guys. And I said, guys, can we tune to 4-3-2? And I told them why. Just like I explained to you guys now. And they go, yeah, let's do that, because really, it's such a minute difference. It'd be hard to for anyone, even for a musician, if you heard somebody playing 440 and then they stop playing, and then somebody started playing at 4-3-2 over here, it would be hard to say, wow, I can't But
so your chord shapes and everything remain the same. I mean, for the most part,
yes.
Okay,
it's just the scale that's changed,
right?
And I explained it to them, and we played that and played Hippie Fest in 4-3-2, and every time I go out and play, I'm in 4-3-2, and I had to re-record I'm Your Captain in 4-3-2 because it puts it in that scale. It puts it in a place that's more spiritual, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah, more uplifting.
There's nothing fighting it. The frequency is not bouncing and rap. We're water. Like, what are we, like 80% water or something? And so the frequencies are hitting us. I don't want that storm going on, brothers.
Well, I love your quote on 4-3-2, which you said is a natural frequency that's friendly to every bone in your body, every hair on your head, every chinny chin chin. It's very soothing and natural and lovely and harmonic.
Yeah.
So right there, everything you said right there, wrapped up in that little phrase.
So
I love, Mark, when you're talking about writing your songs, and I might get this tattooed on my body right here somewhere. When they ask you about your songs, you said, and I love this line: "I am who I am who my songs say I am." What a great quote! A great quote to describe your musical style and your writing.
And it's the truth.
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference when you find people with integrity, and some people don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
They literally don't. They're like, what? No, this is who I actually am. I am this. And
Well, these days, a lot of people have never even seen it.
right.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Sadly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I went to a show over the weekend, and it was probably the best show live I've ever seen in my life. And I couldn't talk for an hour after the show.
That's great.
Like literally, I knew like 4 or 5 songs from her, but Beth Hart, she played with 3,000 seater.
Fantastic.
And literally within a minute, I had tears down my face. I'm like, what is going on? Something's
That's
like special.
Oh, well, that
It's
voice.
Oh my God. But
Oh, yeah.
she has
A lot of
integrity
soul in that voice.
herself, people who have integrity, there's a different thing going on. And
Yeah,
more
man.
about musical integrity. And some people phone it in. You're not one of those people. You're the,
The real
Thank
deal.
News is connected. When the faucet is on, grab a cup, man. But yeah, I keep a next to my bed constantly. I'm a writer, so there's always
Awesome. Yeah, man.
amazing.
This
And you
is-
know what? Like if I get stuck in something, like in a storyline, I'll take a nap and I'll have 3 questions in my head. When I wake up, it's solved.
Yeah. That's
it's
good. You
totally
got the
cool.
combination, dude.
Yeah. Right? If I could only translate it to financial success.
Right. Yeah.
But hey, I'm a happy guy, man. That's
Let me
all.
know when you figure that one out.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice.
So the new album, Mark, we should
Yeah.
talk about it because we've been known to have guests on before, and we completely forget to talk about the new album. So we want to make sure we talk about Closer to My Home, which you mentioned. Mark Slaughter, one of my favorite singers, co-produced and also co-wrote the song Anymore.
Yeah.
And you also did a collaboration with a friend of our show, Jim Peterick. We had him on not that long ago.
Yeah.
You wrote Friends Forever. I saw you and Jim at North Central College a handful of years ago playing your, I forget what the World Band or whatever. Actually ran into Jim that day in Walgreens. He was buying a hairbrush. So I said, I'll see you at the show tonight. So, and I know you said this album was a good 2 years in the making. How did this collaboration all come about with Mark and Jim? I'm assuming you're just friends with them. So how did this all come together?
Well, we were doing a rock and roll fantasy camp in New York City, David Fishoff's, rock and roll fantasy camp. And Howard Stern had called David and said, I want Mark Farner to come over to the show and play I'm Your Captain. And David came to me and he says, hey, man, you want to go on Howard Stern? I said, hell yeah, man. My doors are like wide open. I'm going. You just mentioned it. I'm there. So we had Kip Winger on bass, Sandy Gennaro from Joan Jett's band on drums.
Mm-hmm.
We had Teddy Zigzag from Guns N' Roses on keyboard. We had Bruce Kulick on acoustic guitar, Mark Slaughter on second guitar, me on first guitar, and we went over there and stood in that TV studio. I mean, we're standing next to each other. It's a small studio. So to put everything up into play, and I started, I had the headphones on and everybody started playing, and I just reached up and I just took them off because I'm used to having, hearing the ambiance, the little noises. It was like too weird. So with my headphones off and everybody else got theirs on, I'm listening. And when we did the chorus and we went into that, to the bridge, am I in my cabin dreaming? And here's Slaughter about 2 feet away from me. Am I in my cabin dreaming? He's doing this harmony, and I'm going, oh my God, he's good. And I tell him after we're done, I said, man, that was awesome. He said, dude, I'm going to send you something. He said, I want you to listen to something. So he sent me some of his music that he had produced himself. And it sounded wonderful. I said, damn, that is some great, I'm a tone freak, especially with guitars, of course, but everything to fit, where the B3 is not taking up most of the, it's over here, and you can hear it's over there, and the guitar's here, and the placement of the instruments in the stereo mix is like, yes, this is most important. And as I'm telling him, I called him up and I told him, I said, I love it, man. I thank you for sending that to me. And he said, listen, I want to make you an offer. I want to produce your record. I know you got songs and you want to record it, because I was talking about the songs and new stuff that I'd been writing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want to produce it. I said, man, that is music to my ears. You know, I want you to produce it because you have the ability to make me smile, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started sending, you know, back and forth. That you got the ability to record on your telephone, even, you know, with a acoustic guitar. I sent him some stuff, a song called "Surveilling Us." That's a good song. it's saying something.
Right.
So I sent just the acoustic guitar with no vocal or anything, but I wanted him to get these chord changes because they're unusual chord changes. Anyways, he's in about an hour, he sends back a track that's got the screaming guitar, the bass, man, the drums, and just everything is like, holy shit, man. You know, this guy is serious about what he's doing.
Right.
And I finished the song
Yeah.
by listening to what he put down. I had already had the lyrics started, of course, and the chorus, but I finished that song to that energy that he sent me back. You know,
Right.
it just geeked me up, and man, it's like, so we start working together like this, and we find that, you know, iron sharpens iron here.
Yeah.
And we are both passionate about what we do. And we both are, you know, touring musicians. We're active, still in the game. And so that's why it took us 2 years to get it done, because, you know, he'd take off for 2 weeks and then he'd get back, and then I'd take off for 2 weeks. And like, but we did send some files, you know, to Dropbox and dropped, you know, some vocal tracks, guitar tracks, and you know, some slide that he massaged into the works. But we do our best work, of course, when we're side by each, sharing a room, you know, sharing a room, and the creative juices, because it's, a lot of people say, oh, you have such a gift, and it's not a gift. It's not a gift. Everybody's got a talent,
Right.
and I think it's a talent.
For sure.
And I, because I believe in God, you know, I've been out of the bone suit and I've been back into the bone suit. I know what the other side's like. It's a beautiful place. You know, I don't want to go into it too much, but because I'm where I'm at, it has to have a content of that nature. And Mark is easy to go there with, because I trust him, you guys.
Yeah.
I trust him. And this is, we can be honest with one another, you know, what you were saying, Vince. And so, you know, the 2 years, it didn't seem like 2 years. It seemed like maybe 8 months.
Right.
Because when we finally, you know, together, and then we started picking, well, we got too much music to put everything on that vinyl. The vinyl, as you guys know, is only holds so many tracks.
Right.
So many minutes per side. I think it's like 22 minutes per side, something along that line. So we had to take one and put it on the CD as a bonus track. That one is Friends Forever, because it's special. It's a special song by a special friend. And Jim and I wrote this song. We did it together. We felt good in his studio doing it. His son is playing drums on it. It's a thing, man, and it's special. So it's on that CD. It is the bonus track, and it's got a place for people's hearts.
Nice.
It's going to speak to those people who have value in family, and even to those who have had a riff with somebody in the family, or maybe a couple of people in the family, but
Right.
because it's calling us back together, really is. And it's I think because forgiveness is the definition of love, it's bringing some love back into the nature of things, and we
Nice.
got to find that. We got to find that. We
Yeah.
can't let this bullshit that they're trying to divide
Right.
us with.
Right. Yeah.
We have to stay with our music, and rock music. You guys, for the years that I've been in it, there's been a lot of love, man, and
Right.
a lot of emotions.
Oh, sure.
I'd like to mention this one thing that there are hit songs that have been recorded in 4/3/2 previously, and if I mention one, you guys will probably go, "Oh," so I'm going to mention one.
Right.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Ohio,
Oh,
was recorded in 4/3/2.
Right.
And I discovered that because I'm tuned to 4/3/2,
Yeah.
and I started hearing that riff, that intro riff, that guitar riff. So I'm going to teach it to myself. I put on the music, and it's like I'm in tune with this shit.
yeah. Makes you wonder if they knew or if it was just the
happy accident.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, because in our search for music, that's what we do. We react to a bunch of stuff, and we're like promoting guitar-based music of any kind, really. Not too much
Yeah.
country. I'm not a country guy, so we do
I keep
blues,
trying to drag him over
we
a
do
little
blues
bit.
and hard rock and rock and roll. And fun music is making a comeback. Like the attitude about it's fun.
Yeah.
Like finally, we need that. The world needs fun music.
Oh my
Well,
God, yes.
I mean, speaking of like the division and everything, I mean, whenever you're at a show, nobody's bitching and and talking about politics or anything of the everybody's there for one reason, to have a good time.
Unless you're at a Ted Nugent show, then you're talking politics. That's about it. Yeah, everybody else. And
what's a bummer about Ted Nugent though? We all love Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, some people will never take him seriously because of what he says, that what it isn't about playing. But if people would just shut up about that and look at his talent, the guy is amazing.
Right.
Pure talent.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
He's got an opinion. Everyone does, but
that's not the first time I've heard that, Vince.
Yeah. And it's just weird, that people
absolutely
other things like, oh, Picasso, oh my God, he was for the come on, it doesn't matter. His art's great.
Yeah, I love Ted. He's got good home values, got good Bible. He's like me. I'm a cussing Christian.
Me too.
Cussing ain't gonna keep you out of heaven.
Right.
And people get superstitious about faith. Listen, you can't be superstitious because you're gonna turn this into some kind of voodoo BS. Superstitious. That faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's what faith is, and that's what we need more of. And anybody that can lead us to that love that you're talking about, Vince, we need more of that love in the music. We need it in our conversation, in our families. We need that forgiveness to go back to that love. Then we're on the right track. Then we are being our true American nature.
Yep.
Absolutely. And, I think a lot of, I've mentioned this before a few times, the problem with like maybe youth violence. I have an opinionated guess.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have band, when you don't have acting, when you don't have pottery class and shop class,
art in general,
all the people that we all knew and are and grew up with, that we were friends with, they all had that one outlet. whatever that was, could,
Yeah.
now they know that's gone.
Yeah.
So it's got to go somewhere. So they,
Mhm.
that's my guess on the whole thing. Maybe that has something to do with it. Let them create.
Yeah. But
You know.
the rock community, you guys know that when it was prior to the deregulation 1996 under the Clintonistas,
FCC,
uh, the families owned the radio stations and the television stations. It was grandma and grandpa, mom and dad, and it was, you could own 7 a.m., 7 FM, 7 television stations. That was the 777 rule put in place to prevent what we suffer from today.
Oh, it's when it happened as a crew guy, we were like, oh man, this is, it changes a lot of things that people had no idea. It was like,
yes.
You can't put news and entertainment. Now it's corrupted. Now there was a loss leader.
Yes.
And then when they went to that, it wasn't about news. It was about entertainment and advertising revenue.
Well, and the monopoly that they now have, I mean, and they are the owners of these stations, these people who have got, like BlackRock, and that they have all this money. And but I didn't vote those SOBs, into that position.
Right.
I really didn't. I don't have anything, good to say about them because of that, because they've raised themselves up. But what they've done too is like, bringing the Haitians into Springfield, Ohio, and they're eating the animals, and the people that used to have the jobs there are, shoved aside, and bring these. It's topsy-turvy, but that's from the top. That is from the top. We can't allow that to break what we know to be who we are, our community. And our rock community really depends on this kind of chat that we're doing right here, honest chat, and bringing things up that we don't have to agree on everything, but we know, what is holding us together, and we can be positive in keeping this and recovering from the intentions of bad guys.
Yeah. And there's like mental health right now is at an all-time high with what's happened in the past few years, and that's
oh boy,
apparent,
right.
But I also wanted to talk to you about what they call in India the destroyer of weakness.
Shilajit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we used to take ginger root in the glass capsules, like when we're like, oh, we're gonna have a 16-hour day, 8 hours into the day, they broke out the trays of ginseng vials, And I'm telling, that is the best. I mean, I'm a coffee freak, but that is the best. But I have to try what you were talking about.
You said ginseng?
Well, ginseng, that I've been taking that for 50 years, but I take a certain brand. I take Ilhwa, ILHWA. It is Korean ginseng. It is the strongest. It has more ginsenosides in it than any other brand. And I really believe in it because they don't use the heat in the process. It is enzyme intact, and enzymes ensure that as soon as it's in your gut, it's going into your blood, and it is a blood purifier. And when I
could probably use some of that.
Yeah, man. Well, when I and the doctor says to me that he came in, the guy that did this catheter, they stick it in your groin and they run this camera up through your arteries and check out all your shit. And so he comes in the next day and he says, Mr. Farner, you have got the most pristine arterial system I have ever seen. I've been doing this for 32 years. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm eating pork chops with the fat. I'm eating with the fat, bacon. I'm eating butter, real butter. And you're telling me I got clean arteries? I'm thinking, yes, There is a God.
Following days, like 6 sides of bacon.
Yeah. Well, because there's two things I love to do, and both of them is eat.
Yes.
Serious.
Oh yeah.
So is this over the counter ginseng that you can get, or do you got to order this?
Yes, it's over the counter. I mean, if you're at a health food store, you can go in and get it. I get the extract, which is like a tar, kind of like reminiscent of blackstrap molasses in consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But when they sell you this, it's in a little wooden box, cute little wooden box, fits perfectly in there. It's got this little tiny spoon. You take that one spoon, and Vince put it in your coffee, just and it goes, because I have it in my coffee. It just makes the coffee taste a little stronger.
Yeah.
I like it plain too, just plain.
Yeah.
But it is a blood purifier, and I
That's good to know.
I attribute that pristine arterial system to the work that I've been doing. Unbeknownst to me, I knew it was good. I just knew it was good. Years and years and years and years ago, I had what was, the doctor said it was non-specific urethritis. And I said, Urethra Franklin? No, he said, no. Urethritis. And so a friend of mine said, man, you need to get on this ginseng. And he said, because that'll straighten you all out. I said, well, man, I'm going to get on it. And I got on it, and I stayed on it because all that stuff went away, man. It went away.
That's good to know, because that's one of the pet peeves of mine with their medical profession is they want to prescribe something immediately. They never ask you what your diet is, what your habits are, this exercise. Put you on a pill right away and saying, try this diet. Get out there and get off your ass and walk and run. They never offer that. Too
right on, Fred.
It's so easy just to take care of yourself. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll look when I go to the store. I'll look for Mark Farner recommends.
And you said it was Korean, correct?
Yes, it's Korean. Okay. Yep, they got good soil over there. Okay. So, the whole thing with the doctors, we try to avoid Western medicine because they have two modes that they operate under, and one is drugs, and the other one is a knife. Surgery. And a friend who was she's an MD who put 15 years in the emergency room at a hospital and paid off her $300,000 student loan, by working it off. She got sick. She said, man, they wanted to cut on me and they wanted to give me drugs. I had to find something. And she said, I woke up. I had to find some other mode. I had to find another way. And so there is another way. There really is. Thank God for the Western medicine. In some cases, it's like the thing that it takes. But most of the time, they want to give you, like what you're saying, Fred, they want to give you a drug. And when they find out, when I go into a doctor's office or something to get the blood drawn, they go, what medications are you on? I go, none.
Yeah.
You're 76 years old and you don't take anything? That's right. There's been this white coat inquisition. It's like they took over, dude.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, I don't respect somebody just because they got a doctor and when they don't want you calling them by their first name and they want you to say Dr. So-and-so.
Right.
Oh, that's like going to a church and they want to, call me Pastor so-and-so. I'm thinking, no. This person tripping on themselves.
Right.
Let's come back to reality and talk to me, Joe.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's amazing, really. This one time I was doing a dog and pony show at a major rehab institute. And so I helped, when someone had an accident, I outfitted people's homes if they're paraplegic, quadriplegic, end of life stuff, right? So I'm at this major institution, and I had this one chair that if you could expend 4 pounds of pressure, you could self-stand. and without a tilt board. You stood naturally the way that, your body was designed to.
Uh-huh.
So the head guy comes up to me and he goes, "Why would anybody want to stand?" I'm going to swear. I said, "Are you fucking stupid?"
At least he warned us.
Right.
But yeah, they're like, "Yeah, well, we'll do your stuff, but every time you write a script, you got to write us a check for $37.50." I said, "No, thank you."
Yeah, no kidding, buddy. That's right.
This is why people aren't getting the best that they can get.
Right. That's a business. Yeah.
Dude, it's, oh my God, ridiculous, man.
Yep.
Well, they're out of business if they cure you. So that's why they keep prescribing it.
And a lot of the drugs take out various organs, your kidneys, your liver. We were taking that blood thinner, we were taking this, for this, but I died from,
Right.
Yeah.
They practice
Well,
medicine.
in the morning before when I get up in the morning, I always turn the TV on for about an hour before I start my day. 90% of the commercials are for drugs, for pills.
Yeah.
They're advertising everything. And the side effects, you read the side effects and you go, who the hell's going to take that? The side effect is going to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
one of the drugs is for insomnia, and the side effect was you may not be able to sleep. And I go, wait a minute, and then you just realize how stupid it is. And you flip back over to Cartoon Network and just watch cartoons. Yeah.
Night terrors.
Crazy stuff right there.
Yeah. And when I had my accident and do my surgeries and stuff, I was on pain medication and I didn't abuse it. I took only because I didn't want to be stuck on pills forever.
Yeah,
I took as prescribed, all that shit. 3 years later, then I get it gave me ulcerative colitis. So since then I don't take any pharmaceutical. I don't take pain. I have a chronic pain, but I don't take any. None of that.
God bless you, man.
Just keep walking, doing what you can do, whatever.
Yes, sir.
All these people, like, you don't need to be on all those medications. Like my mom, she's going to turn 91 in October. She's on 2 medications and one's for thyroid. It's like thyroid and like St. Joseph's or whatever, And their doctor's like, what? They're like, yeah, she's not on any,
That's great.
Yeah. I think doctors overprescribe and then overprescribed, and they get another yacht and they overprescribe some more. And
and then they get the bonus from the drug company. And
not really.
Yeah.
Because that would be illegal. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't do that kind of stuff. We're just a pharmaceutical company. Don't worry about it.
Of course not.
I've been stiff arming mine about cholesterol medicine for over a year now. She's like bound and determined that I got to have her. You're going to have a heart attack or stroke in the next 10 years. But I don't know. I talked to younger doctors and they're like, I don't think it's all that,
Yeah.
Cholesterol, so it depends who you talk to, it's just like.
Yeah. It's all about what goes in here, Brother Jason.
Yeah.
It really is. It's about what goes in there.
Yeah.
If we get on some organic, like my wife and I, we grow our own garden. We've done it we've been married 47 years. I've done this like since year 1.
Yeah.
We always grow our own food, and it's always heirloom variety vegetables and organic.
Yep.
Composted cow shit, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
As God intended it.
Yes. But then, I go out on the road. I'm at the mercy of whatever they're going to feed us in South America. Usually in South America, it's pretty good food. But the other places that we've gone, you're at the mercy of whatever they're putting in there, and some of the oils and the things that I stay away from when I'm here, stateside.
Right.
You can avoid it when you're out on the roads. But as long as you most of the time, stay focused on what you're, doing and what goes in here, you'll be all right.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess we should, quick question about Grand Funk, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Um, I'm just curious. I mean, the first time you and Don and Mel all got together and started playing, did you kind of sit back and realize you were part of something special, that this was going to be the band that it turned out to be?
Well, Don and I had, previous to our first rehearsal, we had met Melvin in Bay City, Michigan, at a rehearsal place up there where he was with Question Mark and the Mysterians. You remember Question Mark and the Mysterians? 96 Tears, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Crack,
and he
crack,
was playing
crack.
bass with them. So Don and I were up there on other business, and we heard, because this was a rehearsal facility as well. We heard the bass and the drums through the wall. You could hear the low frequencies. And I looked at Brewer and I said, "Man, whoever that bass player is knows what he's doing." He said, "Yeah, man, maybe because Don and I had already talked about getting a bass player and let's just go out 3-piece."
Mhm.
And so when they took a break and I saw it was Mel Shocker, I mean, Mel and I jammed together, went to the same high school together,
Oh wow.
rode dirt bikes together. And I said, "Melvin, man, we're putting together a 3-piece band. Would you be interested in, maybe joining us?" He said, "Man, I'm ready to leave this band and I am wide open for it." So the following week, we're at the Flint Federation of Musicians in Flint, Michigan, and we are jamming on tunes that I've been writing. And then I would, come up with a jam while we're in between having a cigarette break or something. And
Right.
I'm starting to jam on a tune, and they go, "What is that?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm just getting it." It's just, and they say, "Okay, well, we'll go down to McDonald's and grab some burgers and stuff. And, maybe you'll have that done." So that's how it worked, man. They'd go get some Chinese food. I'd write the song while they were gone. And that's how that first album came about, except for the song Heartbreaker. And Dick Wagner, who of course was with Alice Cooper and Ursa Major, he had a band in Michigan called the Bossmen. It was a show band. And I went with Dick Wagner for like a year and a half. And we were at his house one night after a gig, playing our electric guitars, not plugged in, just sitting there being real quiet. And he's showing me these chords. And I love that because he was always willing to share his knowledge.
Yeah.
And when you find somebody like that, you want to soak it up. And then I ask him point blank, "Where the hell you get all these songs, Wagner?" He says, "Mark," he reaches over and he touches me right here. He says, "They're right in there. You got them right in there. They come out of your heart, man. They are in you."
Yeah.
And it was like somebody took the key and unlocked it. He went to bed. I stayed up with my guitar and I wrote Heartbreaker. That was the first song I ever wrote. And it's on the first album, On Time. And so, the music that we came up with after that at the Union Hall were consistently out of these jams that would come up. And people loved it because the energy was there. Here with the 20-year-old, Melvin was 19 and Don and I were 20 when we did 185,000 people at the Atlanta Pop Festival in 1969, 4th, 5th, and I think it was or 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July. Yeah.
How loud was that?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
And you guys didn't even have a record out, and you're playing with Zeppelin, Janis Joplin, Chicago, CCR.
Yeah.
How cool was that? And you must have some
Jimmy.
unbelievable memories of that festival.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And they had an OD tent set up.
I bet.
Yeah.
That thing was busy all the time.
Lots of oranges. Oh my God. Right.
Mark, I have to ask you this question. He's one of my best friends. His name's Bill Semick. And Bill and I were at Ribfest in Naperville, Illinois, a handful of years ago. You were there playing. And after the show, we went back around to your the trailer to say hi to you. And we saw you and we called you over. And my buddy was starstruck. He was like, he said, Mark, can you come over? And you came over and he was like, we said, talk to him. And finally you talked to him and you spent about 10 minutes with us and you were so flipping nice to us. I can't thank you enough for that. But when I told Bill we're going to have you on, he goes, if you can ask this question for you. So here it is from my buddy Bill.
All right.
The Good Singing, Good Playing album. He wants to know, were any of these songs written prior to collaborating with Frank Zappa? And how much influence, if any, did Frank have on that album?
Yes, they were all written prior to, getting together for Frank to produce the album. But things happened, and Frank got up and played, on the song "Good Singing, Good Playing," that came together in the studio. But everything else was, we pretty much had it down. And the first time he came there to Michigan, he just was amazed at where we were. We were out in the and in fact, part of that whole experience was Frank wanted to, because of the, we were putting it on a vinyl record. He said, we got too much music. We have to get rid of, a couple of these songs. He said, what about this song here? Don't Let Them Take Your Gun. I said, no, that song's staying. and I read to him, I said, just sit right here. He says, why are you so adamant about this? Because at the time, he was anti-gun.
Right.
West Coast anti-gun guy. And, but I know, that it's just because he was not educated about the gun rights and the purpose of having this instrument to defend your house, your family, your loved ones. And I got this little pocket constitution out of the bathroom into the studio. I bring it in and I read the Second Amendment to him. And I said, because, it says it's necessary for the freedom of state. I said, what is it about the word necessary that you don't understand, Frank? And he went, bink, the lights went on and he just got it, man. He got it. He says, man, I've been anti-gun. He says, but I think I need to get a gun. I said, yeah, you do. I said, have you ever shot a gun? No, I've never shot a gun. I said, do you want to shoot a gun? He says, you got a dirty Harry? I just so happened to have had a Model 29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. I said, yes, I got a dirty Harry. You just stay right here and I'll go get it. We'll make sure. So when I got the gun, I put 44 Special, not 44 Magnum.
Right, a little bit lighter, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to jump out of his hand or, freak him out the first time he's going to shoot.
Yeah.
But he dry fired it. I'm talking to him, telling him what to do and making sure. And he's listening. He's listening very intently. And he's dry firing it perfectly. I said, okay, you do it like that, and you're going to hit the target. I said, I'll put a target out on the hill. He says, no, man, just put some cans out there. Let's do it. Do it like we do it in the movies. You want to shoot some cans. I said, all right, I'll put some. So we put some beer cans out there. He draws down on it. And boom, that first shot, dead nuts, hit that can in the center.
He was a natural.
Yeah, man, at about 35 feet. And he's standing there, his eyes got big, and he turns around. Did you guys see that? And we're ducking. We're going, safety, gun safety. Excited. It was a wonderful experience. And Frank
You taught Frank how to shoot.
Frank became a life member of the National Rifle Association.
You converted him that day.
Oh, there you go.
I've got a 44 mag with a 2.5-inch barrel on it. I always say, whatever I can't hit, I can set on fire.
That's right.
Nice. All right, so 2 gold records, recorded, released, and written in 4 months. Well, release of the first one, and then within 4 months, you wrote another one, recorded it, and released it. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it was at the time, man, we were on the road playing. All these songs were coming to. I go back to the hotel room and I'm playing my guitar. I mean, I played it every night, you know. After the show, I'm playing my guitar and writing all these songs. All the songs started coming, and so Terry Knight, you know, our first manager, he was a schemer and a conniver, but he did know how to promote. He knew how to promote stuff, and he had that production deal with Capitol Records, and we were signed to him.
Yeah.
The only bad part about that deal was he was telling us that what we received from the sale of records, which was 6% split between the 3 band members, was more than the Beatles got. Like, we thought, what do we have to compare it to? 20 years old, never had a record deal before, didn't know what publishing was or any of that stuff.
Right.
So we believed him. But then when we found out that he had a contract with Capitol Records for 16%, and the band was splitting 6 and he was keeping 10, and then taking a manager's commission from that.
Oh boy.
Wow. Oh yeah. And my all the publishing for my songs went to his company. It's you know, young kids getting taken advantage of, and I always try to at least leave one jewel, and this is it. If you don't have somebody representing you that is completely disassociated with whoever it is you're signing with, you're making a big mistake. You got to have a representative that is for you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, none of this. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's my no. Separate houses. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's amazing what people have the gall to do. But
if you let them, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so new album, pretty cool. Great design on that, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. The guy in California did that, and this is the first thing out of the box. He said, "This is what I think you are, Mark." And I went, "Wow, you hit it! You hit it! I love that." Yeah. And the red vinyl, man.
Oh, totally.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, good luck.
Any tours lined up with this, Mark?
Yes, they're booking it now. TKO is the agency. Jim Lenz is the agent. Of course, Avi Steinman, my manager, is taking care of, and you know, he filters through all of the dates and makes sure that I'm playing the best dates, and we're not, you know, passing up opportunities to. And I think that, you know, when this music starts getting released, people are going to relate to it like the 4 of us sat here and related here tonight. People are going to relate to it in that sense, because this is what it is. It's just honest, you know, patriotic, honest, lovely music, and it rocks.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you go to your website, there's I think 6 songs, a little teaser about 30 seconds each.
Yeah.
If you pre-order the album before November 8th, I believe it is, it's autographed, which is going to be sweet. So get out there, get to Mark's website, pre-order it. And I love the fact vinyl's coming back. I absolutely love vinyl. So I'm glad it's coming back.
Thank you.
sounds
And
totally different on vinyl.
I'm going to get it, and I look forward to seeing you come somewhere in Chicago. Vince is in Chicago. Jason's in Carolinas. So
South
we hope we're
Carolina.
going to see you on the road.
Yeah, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you for the thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of memories I've had just having fun in my life with your music playing cranked. It was never a bad time around your music. Every time your music plays, it's great memories and good times. And man, you did not do it once.
Here
You
to
did it
that.
again and again and again and again and again and again. And you'll do some more. And
Appreciate
thank
it.
you,
Thank
sir. Appreciate it.
And thank you for being on the show and joining us tonight.
Thank you, Mark.
you. Pleasure,
Absolutely.
Jason.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely. All right. Have a
brothers.
good one.
If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Right on. We'll see you next time.
All
Great
right,
to-
brother.
Thank you, Mark.